Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero content here on the channel. Let's talk about story mode, or if you want to call it episode battle, that's the official name of the story mode, but for the sake of this video, you know, we all know this is story, okay? We're just going to be calling it that. But yeah, let's talk about everything that we currently know about this game mode and, you know, what's going to be integrated into it, the different paths that you can take in terms of what ifs and stuff. This is just going to be the go-to video for y'all if you just want to know everything that, you know, has been revealed so far until we get more information, okay? We haven't gotten too much on story. You know, I did one other video on this, kind of just talking about the basic, you know, breakdown of how story is going to be, you know, handled in terms of the 8 characters that you can play as, which is actually a really cool feature that they have on this. Like I said, we'll jump straight on into all of this and all the information that's official info from the Bandai Namco page that was actually from Jun Furutani, who is the producer of the game. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell if you guys want to keep on seeing more Sparking Zero content here on the channel. I love making videos on these. You know, we've been doing a lot of speculation, 20 minutes of gameplay, you know, and character trailers, reactions, all that stuff. We've pretty much done everything except really expand upon what's going to be, you know, going on with the story. I just feel like there hasn't been a lot out there in terms of kind of understanding, you know, what could happen with this mode, okay? So what you're seeing here on screen is the kind of character introduction where you can choose one of the 8 characters to play as through their own perspective in the story, okay? That's a really cool feature that they're adding to this, is that you can see what happens in the story mode from the point of view, literally from the eyes of the character that you chose, okay? Now, when it comes to actual information that was posted on the Bandai Namco page, they actually kind of did a good expansion to get a good understanding of what's going on with it, okay? So, you say first up is episode battle. This is just going over all the game modes. Nothing new here. This is, you know, from the official site that I actually didn't get to go over, that was posted, I think, you know, probably like over a month ago or whatever. But they say, in this single player mode, you can take the point of view of 8 different characters, including Goku and Vegeta, and enjoy famous battles from the anime, okay? As you can see right here, with Goku, a warrior who's constantly in search of new, stronger opponents, taking down enemy after enemy with his unmatched strength and indomitable fighting spirit, okay? So you can do a new game. I'm not sure if there's going to be like different save files or however that's going to work or whatever. I think it just means a new game for that specific character, one of the 8. So right here it says, for each stage you'll be playing through an introduction, okay, before heading into some of the most iconic fights in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, how the story mode will function from what we saw from the demo is that not every single scene will have a cinematic animated cutscene or anything, okay? Which, you know, I know people are going to be kind of disappointed by that. I don't mind it really all that much. There are going to be, you know, good cutscenes for the most part. But yeah, they're going to have some slides on here. And again, when it comes to Sparking series, okay, the Tenkaichi series, the story mode wasn't like anything like Kakarot, for example, okay? I think a lot of people were expecting something to be like Kakarot or even better than that. And that's not what the Tenkaichi series was meant for, okay? Obviously, it has a story mode and it's a, you know, like a real basic, you know, story or whatever in terms of how they're going to be doing, you know, cinematics and all that stuff. Yeah, I personally wasn't expecting anything major. I was very surprised that it was going to have like actual like pretty decent cutscenes. Okay, like the cutscenes they're okay. You know, they're all right. All right, they're nothing that's blowing my mind. You could tell there's like motion capture with some of the scenes or whatever. That's probably because, you know, not trying to say they're cutting corners, but they're trying to really focus on other stuff compared to the actual story. Again, the story was never a main focus of the Tenkaichi series, okay? It's there, and you can enjoy it, and it's fun and everything, but people are getting this game because they want the 3D arena fighter experience, okay? That's what this series has... I mean, at least for me, that's what it's been about. If you've played the Tenkaichi games mainly for the story, great, good for you, but that's just me, all right? And I think that's their intentions. That's why, you know, we're seeing with how it was like in the original games. Like, even in the original games, the cutscenes were not all that great, okay? They were there, and, you know, there was, you know, some stuff that was, you know, iconic from the anime and the series and stuff, but it wasn't like I said, Kakarot, they, like, CC2, that's, like, their thing. Like, the whole point of Kakarot was to make the most cinematic, beautiful story specifically for DBZ, okay? So the number of stages and battles will vary by character. For example, Goku has the largest number of stages, beginning from where he fights Raditz up to and including his fights in the Tournament of Power saga, okay? So there are specifics here, all right? This story is going to focus on the beginning of Z, Raditz, Saiyan Saga, Vegeta, Nappa, then it's going to go to the Frieza saga, then the Android saga, Cell saga, and then the Buu saga, right? And not only that, it's going to have everything from Dragon Ball Super, okay? So that's most likely going to be, I mean, if you want to count this as DB Super and DBZ, you can do Battle of Gods. There's going to be Resurrection F, okay? There should be Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, the Goku Black saga, which a lot of people are going to be excited about, and then the Tournament of Power saga. Now, this is just what they revealed so far, okay? This is just what's confirmed. I have no idea what's going to be happening with Broly movie. Superhero movie is most likely going to be DLC. Daima is probably going to be DLC. If they're going to be doing story for that, I would hope so. But then I don't think they really confirmed that. I can't remember if they confirmed that the DLC will include story scenarios. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, or maybe they will include that. Okay. Now, what about Dragon Ball? Okay, what about GT movies, etc., etc.? Again, that's uncharted territory. I'm just saying those are all, scenarios that could be in this game. Like in the original Tenkaichi games, at least up until Tenkaichi 3, we had the movies, we had GT, we had OG Dragon Ball, okay? But for now, I think we should just focus on the story being mainly Z and all of Dragon Ball Super, okay? That's a lot, because not only do we have these two big series integrated into one, there are the paths that you can take, the different paths. I don't know how many different paths you can take, if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or what, okay? I'm just going to assume at least 2 paths for each, main saga or scenario. It's going to get really crazy, convoluted, and amazing at the same time, okay? So our goal for this was a mode that would allow players the satisfying challenge faced by characters and their friends, okay? So what you need to know about that, which they said in a couple of interviews, is that the story is going to be more challenging than probably what I guess people would expect, or I don't know. Everybody's got their own, preference when it comes to a challenge. So for some people, maybe it's going to be easy, but I'm just saying, like, they have really kind of honed in and reiterated this a lot, that the story mode is not going to just be like super easy, like you do nothing and then you win. I guess there's going to be some type of at least challenge aspect to it. And I have no idea if you can choose different settings in terms of the difficulty, if there's like an easy, a normal, a hard, an expert, or whatever it may be. I have no idea if that's the case, but I think this makes it sound like there's going to be just one challenge and that's it, okay? One difficulty setting, okay? And it's not something that you can choose, it's just how it is by default, right? Additionally, certain cutscenes allow players to experience parts of the stories from a first-person perspective, which we hope will allow players to further immerse themselves in the character's experience. I think this is actually a really cool feature. I can't recall if any of the other games in the past had something like this, where it's like, oh, you see literally from the point of view and the eyes of Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan, whoever else is going to be, one of the 8 playable characters, which I think it's going to probably swap out and, change depending on the saga and stuff, right? So on certain stages, depending on your actions and choices, players will be able to change the outcome of the story that differ from the anime series. Play as a character to experience these new and different episodes. Again, you can take different paths and everything. I have no idea how, crazy it's going to get with how many paths, or if each path will just lead into the next saga, or if it's just going to cut off there and then you just start the next saga and then there's a different path that, it's like the splitting of timelines. Like, this is literally like the Loki series. If you guys watch Loki, one of the Marvel series or whatever, like, you have all these different variants and pruning, timelines and just different paths and stuff. It gets crazy. That's what this is going to be. Like, you thought Xenoverse, this is something that you would think that would be in Xenoverse, but you thought Xenoverse was kind of crazy and they did their crazy stuff. Like, this is gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? It's gonna get real sick. So, let's talk about story, okay? Right here on the screen, as you can see, I have my personal pick of just the kind of general 8 characters that I think, for the most part, you'll be able to play as, because this is going from Z to Super, right? Again, characters can be interchangeable, they could probably swap out or whatever, but I think our core, at least 2 to 3 characters will be Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. Okay, Trunks, he's definitely going to be part of it, but I feel like he's only going to be part of mainly the Cell Saga, and then obviously we'll have to wait until we get to the Dragon Ball Super, saga or whatever. Now, it might not always be 8 characters for every saga, just because some characters are not present or they didn't do anything in some of the sagas, right? For example, like in the Buu Saga, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin probably don't have much or even anything at all, okay? But like during the Saiyan Saga and the Frieza Saga, a lot of these characters would be playable, but obviously Trunks wouldn't be present, okay? But Gohan would be present for a lot of it, okay? Like I said, those 3 characters, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are probably going to be in the majority of them. They're going to have the most paths and episodes and stuff, okay? Now, when it comes to the Buu Saga, we'll have characters probably like Goten, Trunks, / Gotenks or whatever switch out for like maybe like Yamcha or Tien. When you get to Dragon Ball Super, when we get to like the Tournament of Power, there's a lot of characters to choose from. You have Android 18, you have Roshi, you have all the Z fighters for the most part, okay? But there's no Trunks, for example, okay? So there's so much that it's gonna get crazy, right? With the different paths, the different points of view from the story, and man, like I just thinking about it, it's almost overwhelming because I know it's gonna be a lot, okay? There's a lot of replay value for this game, right? You can go through all of Goku's story, which alone is probably going to be like 20 plus hours worth of content. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Maybe not that long, but you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea how detailed the story is going to get either, right? So let's go over the stuff that we know in terms of like some of the scenes, okay? One of the first paths, obviously you can take your generic Raditz Saga path. Goku holds him down, Piccolo special beam cannon, boom. We've seen this one in every single game, and this game is no stranger to it. We're going to see it in this one as well, okay? Now, here's where things get kind of crazy. And, at this point in time, this has been all over the internet. Okay, it's not really that much of a spoiler, but, I mean, if you don't want to really know the details, which I'm going to explain right now, you can fast forward through this part, I guess, if you want to. But, I mean, it's like, whatever. I think this is sick, and I want to talk about it, okay? The path that you take where you go at it alone, but Krillin joins you, okay? It ends up being a similar scenario. However, Goku doesn't die in this scenario, okay, because he doesn't hold him down. Instead, Roshi holds him down, okay? The sequence in which this happens, okay, is Krillin does a special beam, not a special beam cap. So imagine if Krillin had special beam. Yeah, this is the what ifs. Characters are just using different fucking techniques. Krillin does the Destructo Disc, okay, to kind of distract Raditz. Raditz, I think he like jumps to avoid it. And while he's in the air, Roshi, max power Roshi, by the way, comes through and he does the Thunder Shock surprise to give him paralysis. He's immobile. He can't move. Then Piccolo gets the special beam cannon and blasts his ass and kills him, okay? Crazy what if, something we've never seen before, never expected. Roshi? He's coming out of retirement? Not really retirement, but like Roshi coming through in early DBZ to help out in the fight. That's kind of wild. That's kind of crazy. And he actually does something that's really insignificant. Did I just say insignificant? Sorry. Really significant. I don't know why it came out that way. But yeah, Goku, he had to physically hold this bitch down. Okay, he had to hold his brother down. Okay, Roshi, he came through and said, "I'll just use my ki." Like, this motherfucker could have done this the whole time, right? I honestly never thought of this as a what if, and it's I don't say genius, but like it's a really cool creative what if. Okay, and in this scenario, if Goku doesn't die, then that means Goku doesn't travel to King Kai's planet. Goku doesn't learn the Kaioken. Goku doesn't learn the Spirit Bomb. That's insane. That's major. Okay, like how does that change up things? Like how crazy is this gonna get, right? Then we move on over to the second part of the Saiyan Saga. Nappa and Raditz come through. This is not a new screenshot, but I didn't really get to show this off. I think this was like from one of the, I want to say like gameplay showcases or something like that. So this is kind of cool to see. But yeah, we saw this one in the trailer. This one is a big one. Everybody's most like anticipated or hyped up one. In this scenario, okay, if you take whatever path this is, if this is still part of the same Raditz path that we just had with this, okay, I have no idea, or if this is splitting off into its own, sub timeline or whatever. Grade 8 Vegeta, he kills Krillin, okay? So this is a Namek Saga alternative kind of thing. Okay, so he kills Krillin, Goku early goes Super Saiyan early. What if Goku went Super Saiyan early? Okay, this one is insane. What? Goku early, okay, literally in parentheses early, that version of him going Super Saiyan during the Saiyan saga. Like, this is like grade 8 Vegeta. He ain't built for this, bruh. He's not built to challenge a Super Saiyan Goku that's pissed off. Like, even Frieza was getting his ass beat, okay, for the most part. And, you know, obviously he lost, right? Like, bro literally destroyed him. Like, obliteration, okay? So, just imagine how this is gonna happen, dude. Like, again, this is nothing new, but I'm just like, oh my God. Like, how, again, what's gonna happen in the Frieza saga? If Goku's not going Super Saiyan, like, what even happens? And I'll leave that up to you guys, okay? That's where we're gonna end off the video here. All right, I'm gonna make another video, probably, I don't know when, maybe in a couple days or in a week or something like that, where I'm gonna get some of the ideas that you guys have, where you're gonna comment down below your predictions or speculation for how this is going to change up the Frieza saga, the Cell saga, the Buu saga, and then Dragon Ball Super, where that's gonna get crazy. But yeah, that's the main thing I really wanted to go over, or pretty much everything that we know so far. I think the most exciting thing about this story mode is this is actually gonna be the first time that we're going to get a full Dragon Ball Super story. We have not had a full story that covers all of Dragon Ball Super in any game yet. You can't even count Xenoverse just because those DLC scenarios have been changed up and they're like cut up, okay, into like different things, all right? So, and it's just not the same. Like, I want the iconic experience of the full Dragon Ball Super story in a video game, and I think this is going to capture it pretty well. Hopefully, in the most part. So thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out!
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.